we have a great lineup of speakers today to showcase some of the climate action work that they've done in their countries. And first up, I think we have Shafak Ozsoy, who will talk about the framework for sustainability in Turkish cities. Shafak is the founder of Tulip Sustainability Center in Istanbul, where she provides consultancy on sustainability, climate, water, and environment since 2002. She also works on oil spills, chemical spill contingency planning and risk assessments. They're also part of her expertise. She's also a part-time lecturer at Özyeğin University. She has 35 years of experience, including 30 in the NGO as well. And then from a municipal experience, or from municipal perspective rather, we'll hear from Mesut Gökcan, who will talk to us from his city online, from his city of Balıkesir, to highlight the experience of his city. Mesut is a project manager and a control engineer, the integrated solid waste landfill construction project at Balıkesir Metropolitan Municipality. His work focuses on the solar plants and landfill power generation facilities. He currently works at the preparation of the Balıkesir climate change action plan and renewable energy resources as an engineer within the Department of Environment Protection and Climate Change. Then from a Moroccan perspective, from entirely the opposite side of the Mediterranean, we hear from Hajar Khamlichi. Hajar is a climate and sustainable development expert and an executive director of the Mediterranean House of Climate. She's also a veteran civil society and climate activist. She has extended experience in raising awareness among decision makers, both local and international level. So without further ado, I'll hand over to Shafak to give us her perspective.
Thank you very much. And you can hear my sound as well. Everything getting better. In a few minutes, I'll start. Yes, very good afternoon, everyone, and it's nice to meeting you. And I'd like to thank you to Mr. Chairman, as well as the distinguished panel. And I'd like to thank you to our Ministry of Environment, Urbanization and Climate Change as well for hosting us today. I'd like to talk about today a little bit about the sustainability and what we can understand for that. And can you just get into the second slide? Or I maybe use it. It's in here, right? Okay, what is the sustainability? And we've been hearing so many times, and what is it? And how we can connect the sustainability framework for the cities? What kind of segments that we've been saving? And very recently, I've been talking that the problem is that the previous century, it's in the 20th century, that based on the profit-based economic model that we were facing. And nowadays, we've been trying to use the same management model, but we wanted to additional things that we wanted to follow up, but it's not possible actually. So therefore, we have to consider it or reconsider our management model in the first place. What I mean is that the previous century, again, the concerns was economic development. No matter the environment, no matter is the social issues, you have to develop. Economically, it's going to be all right. But this century, it doesn't work in that way. And we have to take care of the environment. We take care of the social capital. So therefore, we have to find a methods to connect each of them into our processes. And nowadays, again, we've been hearing so many things regarding with the smart cities. We wanted to hear that the eco-friendly production in the cities, and we've been telling that the resilient cities. Now I've been hearing a lot about the resilient cities and the framework of the resilient cities, but how are we gonna fix all of them together? That's the question mark. And also, we wanted to change our energy models into the decarbonization. How that be possible if we are using the similar models that before previous century? It doesn't work. Again, the concern is that the economic development was the concern the previous century, but it's not a concern in this century. So therefore, we have a circular economy issues, because we know that we have a lot of waste and we have to find a place to reuse it. And we have so many polluted areas, air quality as well as water quality and so many things. And also we've been hearing a lot of the good governance practices. What is the good governance good governance practices in the municipalities? How are we going to get a framework for that? Because each of them is required different models and different understanding and framework as well. So all we know that the cities today are facing. In fact, I may say that the economy is turning to the cities. So the cities has a lot of responsibilities, including the economy as well. So that we have to change our cities to create more compact cities and walkable cities. How we can do this? We have old cities, we have new cities. That so many things are going on, and energy transition into the carbon neutrality is the good issue perhaps. We can get an advantages to perhaps rethink of our cities management models. What I'm saying is that it can be easily managed the cities in a framework of the sustainability because the materiality topics is quite changeable city by city. For example, Istanbul, that our mayor was here today, had a speech, one of the sessions, and also Pittsburgh municipality mayor was also in here, like the Turku municipality mayor is also in here. Each of the three cities have different perceptions. But you see that the Pittsburgh in US has a long history that all American dreams was in there. It's a huge cold city and polluted city. What happened that is turned into the different direction. Now it's running for the sustainability and implementing the sustainability frameworks, starting with the climate action plans as well as energy renovation plans to get a decarbonization. I'm getting to the summary with that. What I'm saying that the framework of the sustainability, then we can summarize it. We have to find a materiality topics for the cities, number one. And the number two is that we have to get a stakeholder engagement into the cities. That normally, again, the previous century, it wasn't so important. We have a two-way communication. But when we have a CSR, corporate social responsibility, as well as on the other hand, we can say that the sustainability framework, then it becomes multiple communication, so that everyone is important in order to create better cities, and therefore stakeholder management is extremely important for the cities, and we have to find a place in our management of the cities to address it's two of them. If we address two of them, then it's going to be a good start to move on into the second stage. Because later on, a few slides later on, I'm going to talk about the environmental perception here, somewhere in here. And I'm going to talk about the climate action plans or energy climate action plans into the cities and the difficulties that we've been facing. And on the other hand, we have so many opportunities as well. So we have to know how to use it both. So therefore, again, the sustainability is provide a good strategical way to find out the SWOT, we call it, sustainability SWOT, that to create a better roadmap for the management side of the cities. So therefore, again, previously, what we are doing, that we have a quite heavily regulated environmental regulations that under the environmental issues. But on the other hand, we have a social requirements that quite a nice regulated social issues as well, so many of them. Again, we do have some missing points as well, but we have to collaborate through them. We have to connect with each of them and to get a balance of them. If we couldn't get a balance, then we can't really improve the societies. We can't really improve our cities in a better way. What it means that we can't provide better cities under this sustainability framework. And another important issue is that the governors. If we forget the governors and management and stakeholders, CSR strategies of the cities, then we do have some difficulties again. So therefore, what I'm saying is that you can't really to get a decarbonize the cities, or you can't really get a zero carbon management, etc., without having a stakeholder approach, without having engagement of the stakeholders as well as CSR. Those are the important issues that we have to consider. So therefore, this is the list of the reporting exercise that the cities, some cities in Turkey as well, I guess 2 of them, has already reported to the CDP, and which is quite nice, in Istanbul, and there's one more is reporting as well, I can't remember right now. This is quite good that the framework of the CDP is now addressing into their management model. They have a requirements, and the management part of the municipality are thinking, how are we going to address that, etc., etc. So therefore, those the issues is quite good implementation that the cities can addressing with their stakeholders to explain what they've been doing, the reporting schedules, etc., openly, that everyone can understand what goes on in the city. Very good. Also, the investors also look at this stuff and to find out that what kind of governance issues are going on in the cities. It can be have some investment in the cities. So therefore, even this reporting practices has a different requirements, but one way or another, it doesn't really matter. You can just start one of them and then to create your own framework. Because again, each city has a different dynamics. Of course, there are similarities, etc. Pittsburgh had air pollution and cold, etc. Istanbul has a